All right then, well, let's have a look at the teams. Russell Osman there had the individual quality during his playing prime with Ipswich to earn 11 England caps. Today, as City's player manager, the club want him to show leadership qualities and steer his side to what would be a fourth win in his 12 matches in charge. So Russell gives Wednesday's losing team at Swindon another chance. So a backline then of Monroe, Osman, Bryant and Scott. A midfield of Pennyfather, Shelton and Tinian, with Junior Bent asked to bring speed down the right there and set up the chances for the two strikers, Rosinia and Morgan. Brian Tinian, City's new man, signed from Bradford City last week, fee yet to be fixed by a tribunal. He showed distinct left-side inventiveness on Wednesday at Swindon, and now in his Ashton Gate debut is required by City to build on that good impression. Well, Grimsby's Paul Futcher's been outstanding all season for them, we're told. The twin brother of Ron Futcher, that well-known centre-forward of many northern clubs. Paul is now in his 37th year and a real centre-back stalwart for Grimsby. So a backline then of Croft, Futcher, Roger and Agnew for these visitors. Midfield, Groves, Childs, Ford and Gilbert. The strikers, Mendonca, he's got 12 goals. He's with Tony Rees. And the leading scorer for Grimsby there is Paul Groves, number 9, record signing from Blackpool, 125 grand the start of this season. He's got forward also to score 13 times. And the referee from Pontypridd, Keith Cooper, in his 17th year, will get the West Match Live moving in just a moment. Well, Mark, what a nice day for football, perfect weather.
It is, Roger. It's important for City that they score the first goal today, and that will make Grimsby change the way they play. Very, very important.
Yes, Grimsby come here with a reputation of building their moves neatly and nicely, so we should see some good football here this afternoon, because that's the way Bristol City always try to play as well. Leroy Rosinia on the ball there, who scored in the week at Swindon. So big Rhys Wilmot, the Grimsby goalkeeper there, the lad who lost his place when the famous Peter Shilton came down to Plymouth. So Wilmot, the Plymouth goalkeeper, knew his days were numbered, and he's now with Grimsby. There's Tony Rees. They find him well. They try and play a lot through that number 11, but Osman's with him and has won it. So the first victory there for the City player manager, on whom so much rests today. Monroe for Morgan to chase. Scott. Rosinia's taken up a good position. Couldn't get the cross right. Leroy Rosinia, the Sierra Leone international, who's pledged his future to help City through their difficult times. He will not be going to Africa to play in the World Cup. Bryant, Glenn Pennyfather, Shelton. Pennyfather can't get back, Groves can. Paul Agnew with the throw there, Grimsby's longest serving player. Big Rhys Wilmot. Keith Welsh had a fine game for City at Swindon. Wasn't his fault they lost. So Bristol City, of course, in the relegation zone. 10 games left, 6 at home, 4 away. This is a crucial occasion for them today. Their supporters will look for them to start winning these home games. This is the first of their last 6. Rossignol, robbed of it there by Groves. Shouldn't be too much trouble for Martin Scott. This lad, real left foot, and he'll be looking to link with the new man Tinian, who's left-footed, and that was a promising left side attack. This is Tinian, a left side attack on Wednesday. Let's see what they can do today. Futcher there, having to be quick, and Rhys Wilmot. Lots of experience in this Grimsby side, Mark.
Yeah, it is, Roger. I'm just looking at the City side, actually. It's important, really, with the 2 front men they've got, that the service has to be very, very good. They're not the most mobile, and therefore the balls into them from the likes of Tinian and from Ben have got to be to feet or into chest to link with all the other players.
So Tinian, that's a nice pass. Rossignol, Scott. But it's this ball in Mark's talking about there, and that's good. That's to Morgan, and there's a chance for Tinian. What a good move. Plenty of power in the shot, so that was promising, Mark.
Yeah, that's exactly really what they need to do, Roger. I think Martin Scott must have heard of, you know, a little dink into the front man. Good layoff by Morgan. Here we go. Scott's ball in. Morgan does. It's good at this. Just a little touch. Give Scott first time chance. He's got to obviously hit the target, but it's early days yet for Tinian. I don't know if you noticed this goalkeeper, Roger, as well. He kicks dead balls off the floor with his right foot and out of his hands with his left foot, which is quite strange.
Yeah. Wonder what he's like with his hands. And now a chance for Bent. Oh, he's good with his feet, the goalkeeper, isn't he? What a good save from Junior Bent. Well, you saw the quickness of that lad there then, Mark, to get that chance.
Yeah, lovely little ball in. Bent reacted very, very quickly, and the keeper came out, spread himself, saved it with his feet. Good save, good chance for City as well.
Yeah, Junior Bent, a £30,000 buy from Huddersfield 3 years ago, and hasn't done as much as City would have hoped, but there's promise now that he can deliver in this crucial last phase of this season for them. There he is again. He's quick, he scurries, he's mobile, and can they give him the ball often enough? And there's a chance now for this lad Tinian to stretch his legs. A good, promising move this by City. Nice cross. Rossignol beaten to it by the left fullback, but now City's left fullback has it. Tinian has it again. Tinian wants more movement. Rather given it away, isn't it? And Donker, Tony Ford rather, to Bryant. Gary Shelton. Good spread of play. Monroe. Good ball into feet. Rossignol's first touch hustled by Groves, but he's good enough to hold it. Groves gets it back. That's why Paul Groves is so highly rated by Grimsby. And Futcher's rather given that one away to Keith Welsh. Well, Mark, some promising early play by the City.
Yes, very promising, Roger. They've done really just what they need them to do, is play the balls into the front man. Just interesting there when Tinian had the ball. He's looking for somebody to play it into. Nobody came. At least he had the presence of mind to come out and start again. They need that bit of patience. They are at home, and Grimsby will be prepared to sit back and wait for them to make mistakes.
OK, Monroe into Pennyfather. Well, hustled out of it there. Free kick to City. Donker will feel a little aggrieved with that, but referee Keith Cooper from Pontypridd, the judge did a foul. Didn't seem to do a lot there, Mark. Lot wrong there, Mark, to me.
No, not really, but typical forward trying to tackle back. They normally give fouls away, Rog.
Right. Tinian. Blocked by Croft. Oh, well played Osman before he was fouled there by Mendonca. Clive Mendonca, dozen goals, having a lean spell lately though. Let's hope it stays that way, say City supporters. Good play there by Russell Osman. To Pennyfather. Bryant. Groves again setting it up. Tony Rees. Oh, foul there by Osman. You let him know he was there, Mark?
Yeah, well, I think he was just returning the compliment from a couple of minutes ago, Roger. And he got there as quick as he could and just caught Mendonca. Mendonca's actually very, very quick. So City have got to be very aware. They've got to get very, very tight to him. And hopefully if balls get played over the top, the goalkeeper, Welsh, needs to be on his toes as well to come out and clear any danger.
Yeah. Mendonca and Rees there, both involved. So, Paul Agnew with the free kick. Welsh has come for it, and no problems. A lot depends on this lad, Mark, for City in this run-in on the season. A good goalkeeper, and they'll have a good chance of surviving.
Roger, as a back four player, if your goalkeeper comes and picks balls up, 12, 15 yards in his own box, it makes such a difference and makes defending so much easier. It's nice to see. Hope we can keep doing it.
Morgan. Good shot, but the goalkeeper always knew what was happening. Dave Gilbert to Mendonca. Monroe tight.
Yeah, Morgan, good touch, isn't it? Makes himself half a yard and looks to bend one in the far corner, but he only succeeded in hitting the middle of the goal. Comfortable save there.
So Grimsby began this match in 8th place with this reputation for good football. Their best position this season has been 6th, and so they've had a lean spell, but they still see themselves as in with a chance of reaching those playoffs if they can get a good result here. And they nearly had a bit of a chance there, but quite good play there by the City defence, particularly Scott. Rees. Oh, well, Gary Shelton's had the number 6 over there, Tony Ford, and that's the first booking of the afternoon.
Yeah, it's the worst possible place to commit a foul. Here we go. He's got no real chance of getting the ball. Roger, look, just takes his legs completely, and Mr. Cooper's only 2 yards away, and not a very happy start to Sunday for Gary Shelton.
Well, how about that by the goalkeeper? Terrific. The new rule, of course, you can't catch a pass back with the foot, and didn't Welsh get out of that one neatly? How about this, Mark?
Well, actually showed great presence of mind, Welsh, because, when it comes that high at a goalkeeper, the first thing you want to do is pick it up. But he showed some more ability than we saw on Wednesday from some of the outfield players, didn't he?
Yes. So, Paul Futcher with this free kick for Grimsby as they begin to settle down. Oh, a little bit of chance there for Tony Rees, laid off by the other striker, Mark. Shows the danger of these two lads, although he didn't hit that at all well.
No, you can see already, Roger, the way Grimsby do try and play. They're very, very tight in midfield. They play lovely little balls up to the front men who come off the back four place to try and release a midfield player getting forward to get a strike in on goal. City be very, very careful. As I say, Grimsby are probably at the most dangerous when they're defending and soaking up the pressure.
Yeah. Bryant to Monroe. Well, Monroe trying the varying the long ball after City's neat opening build-up. Osman to Pennyfather. This lad Gary Croft, big reputation, Mark. Man United supposed to have been tracking him this season, just 19.
Yeah, well, he's certainly young enough to make it in the big time, isn't he? He's in the right team where they want to play football.
Tinian, Morgan, Rosinia, Bent, got Gilbert coming close, Munro, Pennyfather, Bent, Munro. Yeah, lost his man nicely, good cross. Rosinia's up, but always favourite with the goalkeeper there. So this is Gary Childs, experienced player, former Birmingham City.
It was just the final ball in, Roger, wasn't it? Good bit of work by Munro on the right, but far too close to the goalkeeper. He's picking cherries for Wilmot, that.
Croft. Tinian. Oh, good switch of play, except that it's put Bent in a little bit of a problem there with Gilbert. Agnew, the left fullback. Will touch off by Rees. He's given it away. Fucha to Agnew. Shouldn't be any trouble for Bryant. Goal kick. Young Matt Bryant there got himself sent off in the week, but he'll be eager to make a good impression this afternoon. Local lad, strong boy.
Just looking at City, Roger, it's important today with the strike force that they try and get Bent in the game. He's the one really with any sort of pace to get behind the back of Grimsby's defence, and if you can get him behind the back and he can supply the crosses for Rosinia and for Morgan, he'll put them with a chance of winning the game.
Right, Scott to Tinian. Lovely ball for Rosinia. In came Fucha, but he's given it back. Well, a chance again there, and Grimsby fortunate to survive, but they haven't yet. Morgan, Bent will get that. And now Munro's got it. Well, that was a great opportunity there for Bristol City on 2 or 3 occasions in that build-up. A good move, Rosinia did so well. But they were unable to get a punitive shot in. And away come Grimsby, Gilbert. And offside there, just. Mendonca showing how to slot it in, but just offside. End-to-end stuff.
Yeah, started with Tinian. Great ball from Tinian, wasn't it? Picked him out. Good first touch by Leroy. Blocked by Futcher, gets half a chance again. Sidesteps the defender. Good save by Wilmot. And I thought Junior Bent could have got a bit closer to it, Roger. Maybe get a shot on goal. Eventually it breaks down and Grimsby are on the attack.
Yep. But at least encouraging for City, they're making the better openings at the moment.
They are, most certainly.
Yes, former Fulham and West Ham player Leroy Rosinia had a lot of knee trouble, but doing very well to be as mobile as he is. So the surgeons say, Mark.
Yes, apparently the surgeon actually said, Roger, they shouldn't be playing anymore. So that speaks volumes for a lad, doesn't it? I think he's got a heart the size of a bucket.
So Paul Agnew, the longest serving Grimsby player with this throw-in. 8 years he's been with them. Fucha, oh, giving it to Leroy a little bit too often for Grimsby's comfort. And now what can the Tinian left foot do on this occasion? Gives it back to the Scott left foot. Yes, they're making their own space, why not? Crowd get a bit impatient, but they're entitled to be impatient with the way it was given away. Pennyfather's put Rosinia in, should score! Won't come down for him, Shelton crashes in, but Grimsby survive again. Oh dear. That's painful. That'll be a booking. Booking for Tony Rees.
Yeah, it was slightly unfortunate, Roger, really. I mean, it is a foul, and he's going to get a book, but he did go for the ball. He was just late. Here we have the City chance again. I thought Rossini was going to try, just bear down on goal, maybe get a penalty, get a shot in, but unfortunately never really got the bounce. Shelton had a shot, and that's got blocked as well, but encouraging signs for City.
5, 6, 3, 8, wide.
Yes, encouraging in that they're making these chances, but I think some supporters will worry that they're letting them slip by because they don't always come again against a team like Grimsby. City will hope they will. Rossignol. Away comes the boy Croft. Good layoff there by Mendonca, and Gilbert's broken well. Don't they break well from defence, this Grimsby side? Neat. Well rehearsed. Into Tony Rees. Mendonca made himself space, and that's a free kick in a very difficult situation. A trip by Scott. I think the referee's not going to book him because it was perhaps more involuntary than intentional, but there we are.
His pencil's probably worn out already, Rog. Here you are, lovely, look at this. Great play, little hold up. On you go, my son. And Scott lucky to not get away with the booking, really.
This lad Gilbert standing over the ball is the free kick expert, they say. Got 5 goals, although there we are, he's laid it off for Childs, well blocked by the City wall, and again by the City wall. And Bryant felt that in a painful part of his wall. Ford. Pennyfather hooks it away, and Grimsby showing how dangerous they can be there. Morgan. Russell Osman to Monroe, and the City fans applaud the way their side has withstood that assault by Grimsby. Gilbert. Osman cuts it out into Nicky Morgan. Futcher got a foot in there. That hurt Morgan. The referee's playing advantage, I think. Monroe. Futcher again. They're not getting that accurate ball in enough. Not accurate enough to Junior Bent at the moment, Mark.
No, I think not accurate enough to any of the forwards, Rog, but they've just got a good spell of play, City. They need to settle down a bit. They know that when they do press in Grimsby's half, they've got to be very, very careful because they're well schooled in breaking Grimsby. They're all good at it. Alan Buckley, I know him quite well, and all these teams have played that way, counter-attack all the time and very, very quick on the break.
Yes, Alan Buckley, a neat little goal scorer, wasn't he? Walsall and Birmingham in his heyday. And his side is neat. He's in his 5th year, this Grimsby manager. He took them up into this division. One of the unfancied, unsung clubs, but my goodness me, they've done themselves credit this season. Grimsby Town. That's Futcher. It's been so good for them. That's Gilbert. Hustled by Monroe. Free kick to Grimsby. Jerry Sweeney there shouting on the bench. Clive Whitehead leaning forward. 2 of the old First Division stars of the Bristol City 1986 to 1990. Or was it? No, it was 76 to 80. Doesn't time fly when you're having fun? So, yeah, well, I get the feeling, Mark, that Grimsby, having survived the early crises that the home side was managed to create, Grimsby are now settling down and coming forward dangerously.
Yeah, they're slowly getting themselves back in it, Rog.
Gary Childs. Nice little ball back. Now then, Morgan. He's a bit short of assistance. He'll have to wait for it. He's got Rossignol inside him. Nobody else there. They're outnumbered 4 against 2. Bent's got there, of course. Far side. Shelton has it. Scott. Tinian. Pennyfather in a bit of space. And Morgan. Chance here for Monroe to let rip. Good shot, but good in that he kept it down. Not so good in that it wasn't on target. Monroe, the former Rangers fullback, shaking his head there saying, I should have hit the target.
Yeah, good build-up, nice and patient. If nothing's on, just keep the ball, slowly try and work Grimsby. Eventually, something does open up. Monroe hits his right foot, sadly for City, just wide of the far post. Good build-up though, Roger.
Yep. Getting some width into the game. Learnt from Swindon on Wednesday, who showed them how to make width count. And Quite a promising opening, but the worrying thing from City's point of view is that they haven't got that ball in the net yet at a time when they've made the openings. Scott taking on young Croft. Nice cross, Rosinha up there, but so was the left full-back. Agnew had cleared that. Well done to him, and Gilbert looking for Rees. See, just one clearance and one pass, and they're back in business, this Grimsby side.
Scott, he whips a nice early crossing, and everyone's just, well, I think Futcher got the final touch to that. I got so excited, lost my mic for a minute there, Roger.
Well, you'll just raise your voice like you used to in the back for Liverpool there when they needed to hear from you, because you had to make yourself heard above that cop roar. That must have been pretty difficult.
I forgot where I was for a moment.
Anyway, Rosinha, isn't he battling well? This is Junior Bent, Pennyfather, Shelton to Tinian. Charles got close, they're beginning to work that one out. Oh, good cross by Tinian, and Futcher clears it. Shelton against Ford. Pennyfather against Childs. Osman. Up goes Ford. Mendonca to Groves to Gilbert. Bryant battling there against Mendonca and doing well in the end. Good round of applause for young Matt Bryant from his hometown crowd. Stuart Munro there with the throw. Again, Rosinha turning it, and Futcher the clearance. Yes, Scott got his head in well there. Oh, nice play by that young fullback. That's why the big clubs are keeping an eye on him. Futcher. Bryant. Rosinha. Oh, well, Futcher anticipated what was going on there and stole in. Gilbert. Yeah, Mendonca. Bryant shadowing him. Gilbert. In comes the cross. Osman gets tight on Rees, and Bryant says, let's just have that out. Let's not bother where it goes, let's get it away. Agnew with the throw to Futcher. Laid in there. Good. Well, the tackle by Osman, a foul again. Mendonca teases, doesn't he? Holds that ball, draws in the tackle.
Both of them, Roger, to be fair. Rees as well. The great service into the front, man. It must be nice to play in this Grimsby team up front. You always get the ball in at your feet or in at your chest. Very nice.
So, Childs, a bit of space, but he couldn't hit the target, but he got a deflection there. It's a corner kick. Gary Childs, yet another of the very experienced players in this Grimsby side. Dave Gilbert's taking it. Back to the left fullback, Agnew. Gilbert, Pennyfather tries to sort it out. Rosinha is showing that aerial ability back in his own box. Childs to Croft. To Mendonca, to Croft. Shelton. City so penned in, Morgan's on his own. Childs. Ford. Mendonca. Osman. Oh, good intelligent play again by Welsh to Scott. Didn't get rid of it quickly enough. Childs got close. Throw to City. Yes, Grimsby beginning to camp a little bit in our area, Mark.
Yeah, they don't give the ball away, Roger, do they? So you're always going to have a chance if you can keep the ball, certainly away from home. You're always eventually going to work some openings. And they're very bright, they're very quick on free kicks. They've got many variations, and they look a nice side. Good side to watch as well.
Morgan. Osman. Rosinha. Clattered a bit, I thought, by Roger, but all right. Gary Croft. Life hasn't been quite so hectic for Wilmot this last 5 minutes or so. Ford, Childs, Ford. Oh, good tackle by Shelton. Portley got it too. Monroe. Morgan, chested down nicely. Bent, Groves is getting close, doesn't want him to get away. Pennyfather. Monroe. Rossinia, Bent. Oh, Mendonca offside again, just as well from the home side's point of view. Monroe. Tinian calling for it over on the left, but it doesn't go there. Rossinia. Monroe. So, Pennyfather, beginning to be caught in possession a little bit. Pennyfather, have to be careful about that. Osman had to bail him out, half out anyway. Ford, Mendonca, Shelton, good tackle, got hurt there, Gary Shelton. The referee quickly orders the trainers on because he could see both men are hurt. Brave piece of work there by Gary Shelton, knew he was going to get hurt, prepared to suffer in the course.
Looks like a war zone down there, Roger, doesn't it, at the moment?
Yes. Two guys there who both knew that they wanted the ball and it was going to be painful, and they both prepared to suffer for their teams.
Yeah, here we have it. Just a little ball dinked in, wasn't it? I think eventually it's a bad layoff that comes about. The reason they get injured is because the ball bobbles up. They both tried to win it. Look, they've both gone in, fair and square, and I think they've both hurt each other. But as you say, very fair, both going for the ball. Unfortunately, they're both trainers on for both players. Give Mr. Cooper a chance to get his breath back, look.
Yes. Yeah, he's in his there's Gary Shelton, the City skipper. He's in about his 17th season. The referee's in his 17th season. Gary Shelton reckons this will be his last season for Bristol City. Sheffield Wednesday, Oxford, a real battler. Booked early in this game, so he's got to battle carefully now. But there'll be no hanging back by Gary Shelton, one of life's real warriors.
You say warriors or warriors?
Hey, entitled to be both at the moment.
That's right.
Well, Russell Osman won't be too displeased the way things are going. Scott, well cut out there by Croft. This young fullback doing well. Osman up well there. Bent speed in there, but Agnew got it away just in time. Shelton. Tinian. There's Junior Bent. Oh, chance here. Oh, well done there by Ford for Grimsby to get his head in there and clear that. The referee's seen an infringement on the goalkeeper anyway. I think they put them in cotton wool myself, Mark, these goalkeepers. Wilmot's a big, strong lad. He's able to use his hands. I don't know why they don't let him get on with it.
Well, just with the rules away. Here we go. Bent as well, holds the ball up. Scott, good cross. And you're entitled to pile in there, to be fair, Roger. You know, Morgan's going for the ball. He's putting the boy under pressure.
Yeah.
Not a foul for me, but I'm afraid all referees give them for those nowadays.
Quite agree. So, Rossinia to Shelton. To Tinian. City coming back now after Grimsby's good little spell. But City won't prosper with passes like that. City just the wrong side of that relegation line, but they can see hope in that the next three clubs above them are only the 1 point better off. That's how tight and close it is in this first division bottom zone. So although City in the bottom three, it only needs a useful run of a couple of home wins, a couple of away points, and they can climb well clear of it. That's why they bought Brian Tinian, to make sure they do climb clear of it. Neat left-sided midfield player there. Shown well in this game so far, Mark.
Yeah, I just get the feeling, Roger, that if they had somebody quick up front, Bristol City, it'd do even better for them, because he's great at dinking little balls in over the top.
Of course, they did have something quick called Andy Cole, and they decided to sell him for £1.75 million to Newcastle just before the deadline.
Yeah, it's Sod's law, I'm afraid, isn't it? It's a pity that Cole couldn't be here, but if he'd been here, obviously Tinian wouldn't have been bought because they didn't have the money. But such is a football manager's life, Roger.
Right. It broke badly for Russell Osman there, the timing of that Cole departure, because it didn't give him a lot of time to buy something in. And when he did get prices quoted, the prices have been inflated, you know, that Mark, this has been a problem for him in that deadline buying week. But now we've got Junior Bent, who could solve a lot of his problems if he gets this right. Well, he doesn't, does he? That was hurried and really a wasted opportunity there, Mark.
Well, he's gone to blast it, hasn't he? Unfortunately, if it had blasted it and kept it low on the ground, it would have been a decent cross, but he's bent his back and it's sailed over for a throw-in to Grimsby.
Meanwhile, Grimsby surviving City's second wave of attacks there. Osman. And Gilbert.
Yeah, he gets a second bite at the cherry after the block tackle here, Junior Bent. And he has a look up, there's everything right, apart from the delivery. He's just blasted, nearly ended up in the seat next to me, Roger, I'm afraid.
Yep.
Should have kept it down and then had a chance of forwards to get in the end, just get a touch into the back of the net.
Yep, been the story of his career. Promising on many an occasion, but on too many, his final ball has not been good enough. Morgan in a nice bit of space here. Rossini's far post, if he can reach him. He can too! And what a good acrobatic piece of work by Leroy, but he couldn't quite keep it on target.
Yeah, good play again by Morgan. Again gets his head up, sees Rossini. I think Rossini's helped by Croft, just slipping. But as you say, you've got to hit the target there, got to make the goalkeeper make a save.
Mendonca. Gilbert. Oh, Scott did well to be in the right place, but sliced it with his standing foot, Mark.
Yeah, always difficult, Roger, when you know it's going to come on your so-called bad foot. And unless you're on the top of the game, more often than not, you can slice it. In the corner for Grimsby.
So Gilbert with this corner kick. They've got big Graham Rodger, their centre-half forward. He gets goals from these situations. But they're not the tallest of teams. Groves is quite tall, the 9. And the 5 gets up there to it. The City get their tall men up. Rosinha. Mendonca to Ford. Little dink back to Mendonca, to Childs. And Tinian there trying to help out. Good cross by Mendonca. Chance here for Gilbert, blasts it, and straight at the keeper just as well. Well, stood his ground well, and a good shot there from a difficult angle by Dave Gilbert.
Yes, that was the key, Roger, the fact that Welsh did stand up. Here the cross comes in. I think it just gets a flick on. There you go, just flick on, I think, Mendonca there to the far stick. Gilbert does well, bounces almost as high as he is, and Welsh just stands his ground to make the save.
Fucha. To Morgan. Now bent speed. Oh, and the left full-back there impeded him, and that's he's given indirect free kick for obstruction, Mark, and that was an occasion when Taylor made for bent speed, but the man impeded him.
It was actually, but I don't know if Bent would have made it, Roger, but I think the left-back was frightened to death of Bent's speed and just stood in front of him and blocked him. And really, if the left-back had gone for the ball, I think he'd have got there first.
So, Pennyfather with the free kick, promising position here. And it's Future who gets it away, but there's an infringement there spotted by the referee against Bristol City.
Yeah, I think Leroy was trying to get an advantage, wasn't he? Just climbing on the back of probably Roger. But good defending, to be fair, from Grimsby, not too far from their own goal.
So, Rhys Wilmot, who had such a busy opening to this game, has been mostly an observer of the attacks at the other end, and the City defence has stood up equally well. Leroy Rossinier to Scott. To Morgan. Groves. Croft. Oh, good control there by Osman. Difficult ball. Nice control there by Gary Shelton down to Tinian. To Scott. Morgan and Roger involved there. Morgan's got help from Tinian's left foot. Rossinier up. But so was Futcher, and so was Roger. And the Grimsby centre-backs win that one, and again. Now then, Tinian can place that one, but not quite placing it on Rossinier's head. What a shame there from the City's point of view. Gilbert. OK, Mark, your impressions of this first half as we go into the last 2 or 3 minutes of it?
It's been a good game, Roger, to be fair. Both teams have both tried to play. Grimsby's certainly not come for a point. They sit in there OK, but they look to break very, very quickly. City have had the better chances. Wilmot, the far busier goalkeeper. But I think both managers will be happy with the way things are at half-time. No score. Pity for City, really, because they're probably just due with, you know, a goal in front wouldn't have done them any harm at all.
Right. OK. Bryant forward there. Future and Rossinier. And this boy Rossinier having a very good first half for me. Oh, well, he's brought down heavily there by Agnew, and those Rossinier legs can't take too much of that. He's had trouble with his knees all through his career. He doesn't need that. But he's OK.
Here we go, yeah. Does well past the first man, and I think little nutmeg, yeah. And unfortunately for Rossinier, gets brought down by Agnew.
So Pennyfather's free kick, well, rather wasted.
That's the problem, Roger. He's such a big guy, the goalkeeper, that anything within 5-10 yards of him is going to come and claim. So City have to be very, very clinical with the free kicks. Look to play an outswing away from him and get people and bodies in there to cause them problems.
Yeah, indeed. And Gary Croft, 19. Osman up well. Pennyfather helping out. But they've got a bit of space here. They're building it on the left through the left fullback, Agnew. Gilbert's giving him some width. Played in there nicely for Rhys. It's a dangerous amount of room those Grimsby strikers are finding near City's goal, but so far they haven't connected with the layoff. Tinian, Rossinier. Croft will have that. But the crowd encouraged by the amount of pressure City are applying. But it's the end product that City need. Back to Osman. Tinian. Scott, good passing to open up some space here. Can he get the cross good? Touched on by Shelton. And a good effort there by Gary Shelton, I think it was, nipping in there.
Again, a good cross, I think, by Scott. Patient build-up from City. Gets flicked up. Everybody has a bit of a fight for it, Roger. And to be fair to Shelton, gets in there, but only as far as right in the goalkeeper's hands.
Yes, that's why he's got half a dozen goals this season, Gary Shelton. It's a lesson to the other City midfield players. Now chance here for Morgan, but Fuchs, was that a handball? If it was, Mr. Cooper decided it was unintentional, and therefore it doesn't count. So Scott still with it. Just time for City to sneak ahead in this match if they can. That's a good pass to Tinian. There's the cross. Rosenior in there, but Grimsby survived. Come away through Tony Ford to Dave Gilbert. Into Mendonca. Good tackle by Pennyfather and by Shelton. City win it back. Tinian lay off to Scott. We're into added time now, but there was quite a bit of that, so I would say a minute or so of play. Osman. Tinian, little dink for Rosenior, it's perfect. So's the finish, and so was the save. I'm not sure if the keeper was required to touch that, but Futcher's tackle came in, hurt Rosenior.
Great ball here, Roger. Lovely little dink, left foot. Rosenior's bounced up, hit it first time, just over the crossbar. Futcher's hurt himself. I think Rosenior got caught by Futcher. There we go again. Beautiful. Look at great skill that is. Up she sits. Leroy just fails to hit the target. Very, very close though. He looks to play this Tinian, doesn't he? I know we've been on about him a bit.
Yes.
You know, you've got to remember, I think it's only his second game. Lovely left foot.
Yes, indeed.
Good
That
first
was,
touch.
That was as good a pass as we've seen all season, the way he just laid that on Rosenior's boot, and Leroy knew he would have to hit it. Futcher knew he had to tackle, and you can see the result. They're both hurt, and particularly Rosenior, whose knees have suffered in his career, and Buster Footman there anxiously attending, because this could be bad for, it'll be very bad for Bristol City if Rosenior can't complete this match, because he has been easily their most dangerous forward. Remember, they accepted that Newcastle bid of £1.75 million for Andy Cole, spent some of it on bringing Brian Tinian, the number 11, and Glenn Pennyfather, the number 6. But you can see there that Rosenior needed help. See, there it is, he's going to hit it. In comes the tackle.
I think he just seemed to fall awkwardly, or seemed to fall into Futcher and maybe knocked his knee.
Yeah.
The only thing about it, he's going to have about 10 minutes at half-time for Buster Footman to work on him, so that will be a bonus. And hopefully, he's a big game boy, I'm sure he'll fight on.
It's not so much the actual collision there, but the history of that knee. You see, it doesn't need so much to knock it up, but there we are.
Nearly as bad as yours, Roger, at the moment.
Oh, I tell you what.
The viewers don't know about that, though, do they?
Dear me. And I've been suffering so much longer than Leroy. There we go. Up goes Shelton. Can City just get this goal before half-time? Can Grimsby get this goal? Because this is Tony Rees, and no stick in that one. And but the danger of Grimsby in the way they break so nicely. Well, Morgan's done well to pinch it, and Shelton and Morgan. Can he get it wide? He's given it. Oh, it's well nicked there by the Grimsby defence. Bryant to Pennyfather. There's a handball. But, I don't know why the referee let that one go from Groves, because that did look intentional. Tony Rees inside to Groves. Well anticipated by Shelton, the skipper. Oh, Pennyfather's given that away to Gilbert. And Grimsby will be happy to hold this and get in at half-time all square. Oh, they'll change their mind. Good interception by Bryant. And Donker. Scott's got it away to Gilbert, to Bent. And there is the end of the first half. Definitely a first half in which Bristol City, as Mark said, made the better chances. Leroy Rosenior was involved in so many of them. An outstanding performance by him, but the worrying thing is there you can see he's slightly limping, and City have yet to score. Let's join Steve Scott on touchline.
Clive Whitehead, your impressions of the first 45?
Well, the game's still wide open, isn't it? I mean, we've created a few chances, and we just got to keep it going, really. I mean, it's, as I said, it's wide open. The game's there for the grabs.
Leroy Rosenior went very close twice.
Yes, and also Junior's had a good chance. We've built up well. We've got to get a bit more quality in our crosses and finishing. And hopefully we'll come out with a good result.
Clive, thank you.
Cheers.
OK, thanks, Alistair. Mark, it's going to be a critical second half for Bristol City. They've had a first half of opportunity missed.
Yeah, so the first goal is very, very important now, Roger. you know, hopefully if City can get it, keep tight at the back and go on to win the 3 points. We've got to be very, very careful with Grimsby, who are very, very good on the break. Mendonca and Rees, the last man, just lie on the last man.
OK, let's get on with the action. And there they go then, Grimsby Town in those well-known black and white stripes, known as the Mariners. They're a long way from their Blundell Park today, but they've done pretty well down here at Ashton Gate. They've held Bristol City in this first half. City playing left to right in their well-known red shorts. Russell Osman, their player manager, on the ball there, have shown many reasons why they should have won this game already. They've also shown some of the reasons why they're in the relegation zone. So, City supporters will be happy to see number 9 there, Leroy Rossignol, has turned out for the second half. He took some knocks in the first half.
I think if he does have a problem, Roger, at least you've got Alisson to come on and a straight swat for him, so that maybe not too bad out of that.
Sure. There is Rossignol going up in the air there, beaten to it by Roger, and that's Bryant with a head start. And Welsh, who's had an excellent game in goal for City, clearing that first time. Yep, well, City began this game in the relegation zone. They know that a point at home from a draw is not good enough. Keith Welsh, their goalkeeper, has done his part. And the City defence has been pretty sound, but it's the front men who have yet to take advantage of the opportunities that have been created that would be the worry for the home crowd. Home draws will be no good in this situation. They've got to set their stall out and get the ball in the Grimsby net and get the 3 points. They've certainly shown the capability to do it. Are they going to pull it off in this next 45 minutes? That's what we're all here to find out. So, Fuchs with the clearance there, but Osman tucking it back in. There goes Rossignol. And it's cleared by left fullback Agnew, only as far as Scott. And Rossignol there, happy to see him mobile, because, as I say, those legs of his have taken so much punishment in his career that his knees are such that a Bristol surgeon, looking at the x-rays of Rossignol's knees, said this man should not even be running anywhere, let alone playing football. But Leroy has battled on, linking with such as Morgan there, who doesn't find Junior Bent. And Agnew, the left fullback, keeping a close, shall we say, too close an eye on Junior Bent. They got hold of his shirt. Monroe with the throw. Bryant to knock this one in. But Tinian has it now. Scott got to give him some width. Scott going at young Croft. And the fullback doing well. Very promising young fullback, that number 2 for Grimsby.
The thing there, Roger, was that the young fullback Croft showed Scott where he wanted to go, as opposed to Croft trying to dictate where he wanted the fullback to go. Consequently, the fullback just ran him out of play.
Yes, indeed. Reece Woolmott, who resisted City's early thrusts. Osman. Morgan. Monroe. Bent. Grimsby hemming him round with 3 men, frightened of his speed, and so far City have lost the secret of releasing Junior Bent, Mark, in this game.
Yes, he needs a ball in front of him, Roger, doesn't he, in the space, in behind the fullback. The fullback Agnew's gone very, very tight for him, denying him all the space, and if he doesn't get the service really Bent, he can't play.
Scott to Osman. Roger. Oh, that's his trouble here, except the ball just ran too far, and Keith Welsh, no problem.
That was a point we were trying to make just before about, you know, Mendonca and Rees. There's always one on the shoulder of the last City defender. They're always gambling. They're always looking for that mistake or the ball over the top to be put them through on goal.
Yes, Agnew with it. Oh, lovely laid back there by Mendonca, but Shelton had read all that. And Scott, not too clever a clearance. This is Gilbert. Childs. Croft. Childs. A case of child's play. Offside, Tall Groves. But the neatness of the build-up, and they're patient, and they won't waste it. They won't give it away, Mark, will they?
No, they're trained to play that way, Roger. They're very, very comfortable. And, you know, the nice thing about them is they look forward. As soon as they get the ball, they look forward. If it's not on, they go sideways, they can come out, they can go back. They're all very, very comfortable. And they're a nice team to play. They're like a Nottingham Forest of the lower divisions for me.
Indeed. Alan Buckley, the manager, would be pleased to hear you say that.
Well, he was at Nottingham Forest, wasn't he?
Yes.
But, there was no pun intended, I can assure you.
Forest's present position always accepted, of course. We could be seeing them down here next season if City stay up. So Tinian with the throw. Crofts clears it. Bryant, good first touch. Monroe, experienced player signed from Blackburn via Rangers. Monroe again. Oh, Shelton's in, but so was that tackle by Roger. And City getting the back men forward a bit more now in this half. Maybe that's one of the things Russell Osman's wanted. Get the two fullbacks more involved, pressing forward. Here's another fullback. This is Scott. He's through. He's pulled down, but charged the bench. Oh, he's missed that target from the best chance of the game. Scott hurt in making that chance for Junior Bent, who should have buried it, Mark.
Yes, I think actually it wasn't a foul, Roger. I think he got tackled by his own player, as you see here. He ran into Leroy, look. That's what happened. The ball broke for Bent, and he stuck it wide of the far post. The keeper had stopped, he'd given up. If he'd hit the target there, City would be 1-0 up. Here we got it again. Great run by Scott. Burst past the Groves, inside. Just runs into Rossini, doesn't he? Then he makes a pass unwittingly, straight into Junior Bent. Oh, he's got to hit the target there. City are 1-0 up if he hits the target.
Well, let's hope that it's a sign of Junior getting into scoring positions, which will benefit City in the remaining 40 minutes of this match. But it has to be said, he's missed the best one so far.
It's just nice to see, Roger, that, you know, we're actually getting back four players through now. People like Scott. Monroe certainly tried to get in there. You've got to try something different and get your back four players in there for that element of surprise.
Yes, it's looking more and more like a match City can win, but will they? So Matt Bryant, young centre-back, with the free kick. Butcher, Pennyfather in there, cleared by Graham Roger. Tony Rees caught by Shelton. Ford helping out. Pennyfather's in there. Osman. Tinian. Osman. Rossini against Roger. Rossini gets a touch. Butcher helps out. Now, Tony Ford, and they've got a bit of space to work in here. To Mendonca. Oh, well anticipated there by Pennyfather. Morgan away there. Well, the crowd beginning to warm to this City pressure, Mark.
Yeah, good spell of pressure actually by City. The two front men putting the back four players of Grimsby under pressure.
There's one of them, Monroe. Cleared by Croft to Pennyfather. Not enough pressure being put on that man, though. Osman. Tinian. Scott knocking it in. Too far.
That's where they struggle a bit, City, Roger, when, you know, the likes of Scott, Tinian, maybe even Monroe sometimes. If the two front players aren't showing, there's no way they can play the ball over the top because the two front players just haven't got the pace to get on the end of it. Consequently, they end up giving the ball away.
Yes. So let's look for an overlap, perhaps, by some fullbacks. Particularly Scott down the left, and let's look for the Bent's pace on the right. Because certainly if they provide centres for Morgan and Rossini, they are deadly in the air, aren't they?
Most definitely, but you've got to get in the position to get the centres in first.
So City have won a centre situation from a corner kick anyway. And certainly the head of steam building up here by City. It's a lot more promising. Tinian with the corner kick. Up goes Bryant, chance for Rossini, blocked. Rossini blocked, and once again Grimsby survive. Good aerial attack there, Mark.
Yeah, good corner in, wasn't it, by Tinian? And good chance again for City.
Osman. Cut out by Croft, but...
Here's a chance, Tinian's corner, and it comes. Good header by Bryant. Into Leroy, and I think it hit Junior Bent, Roger. Again came off Leroy, again came off Bent, a bit like a pinball, eventually cleared by Grimsby. Another good chance for City, though.
Rossini to Scott. Rossini, Scott. Now given away to Mr. Ford. Rees, lovely little touch, but City are anticipating these flicks now. Now there's a pace job here, and Bryant's equal to it. As Rees came tearing in, and well played out by Welsh. He is good with his distribution, this goalkeeper. Osman. Nice ball into Rossini. Tinian. Morgan. Lovely move. Bent, not even Bent could get first to that because Gilbert had a head start. Bryant. Agnew. Tony Rees. Dave Gilbert. There's no doubt about it. City are doing much more pressure now, and Grimsby's attacks looking much more isolated and less dangerous. This is the spell, I feel, Mark, when City have got to put that knife in. They've got to make this pressure count.
Yes, we can only play well for so long, Roger. If you don't score, you get a feeling that you're not going to score. You've got to make the pressure count.
Monroe, now where's Bent? Wide on the right. Is he wide? Yes, he is. The fullback's close to him. Monroe. Bent's going around the back for a little through ball. Morgan has it. Now it's Shelton. There's Bent. Not Gary Shelton's best centre, but he's got the throw in. Monroe. Bent. Shelton. Bryant. Shelton, again, it's rather given away there, but Monroe has it back. If he can find somebody here, there's plenty of red shirts around. Well, City have still got the ball, they're still keeping up the pressure, the crowd's getting impatient, but it is looking good for them. And another corner kick. So, Tinian, the Tinian wants the new ball. It's not the cricket season yet, but he's calling for the new ball, Mark.
Must be the 7th game, Roger. I think the crowd were just getting slightly aggravated there because City went back for a bit. But, you know, the thing about going back and changing the play, Roger, is that you're moving defenders all the time. Eventually, hopefully, you get one of your own players through there, and players, you know, get a half a yard free in the penalty area, which enables them to have a chance of scoring.
Sure. So, yep, enthusiasm rife at Ashton Gates. Can they give him a goal? Oh dear, doesn't like the new ball, does he? Osman. Oh, lovely ball to Bryant. And lashed anywhere there by Agnew, and it's a sign now there's just a touch of panic in the Grimsby ranks, Mark.
Yes, it was a bad clearance, wasn't it? Bryant did well, really, because it came at him very, very awkwardly. He managed to get some sort of crossing. Here we go, well left by Bent. Bryant is centre-back, you know, half on his backside, got some sort of crossing and made the defender make a clearance. Another corner for City.
So Tinian taking them on both flanks, in-swinging left footer. Oh, again, it's can't get the hang of this new ball, Brian Tinian, at all.
The daft thing was, Roger, it was him who asked to change the ball in the first place, wasn't it?
Yes.
Sod's law. It's when you change your gloves at cricket, you normally get out, don't you?
Well, this chap won't be in a hurry now. He's glad all that lot's over for a while. Enough to turn you grey. Reese. Childs. Little handball there, but wasn't ruled as intentional. Tinian. Scott. Senior. Tinian. Morgan. The senior. Now Bent. Chance to run it, his fullback. Morgan. Osman. Monroe. Inside. The fullback playing in well though, isn't he? That number 3 not giving Bent an inch. Forcing City to switch the play. But if they keep probing, there's going to be a crack sooner or later, Mark.
They've got to stick at it, Roger. You know, if it's not on, do not give the ball away. Keep it. Try and work a position, work an opening for yourselves.
Sheltered in well there, picking up the piece. This is Bent. Chance here for Tinian. Bang with the left foot. Corner kick off the right fullback. Tinian's corner kick. Gary sheltered. Well, annoyed with himself there. Just couldn't time it right on the half volley. He gets his goals, but not on that occasion.
Again, the corner comes in, doesn't it? They're all up for it. Spencer gets headed back to the back post. I think by foot he gets a touch. And unfortunately for Shelton, he couldn't really wrap his foot round it, Rog. He leant back and I think it's with our OB unit out the back, isn't it?
Yes. Well, the goalkeeper can't do well with this ball either. I tell you what, it's keeping so low, this ball. Maybe the next City shot will keep low. However, I tell you what, Gary Shelton, although he made a mess of it, he does do well to get in there. He will get in and sniff out the chances, and that's why he's got a lot of goals as a midfield player throughout his career. Let's hope he can, City's point of view, do that this afternoon. From Grimsby's point of view, they'll be glad to have survived this assault, but it is beginning to look bad for them.
This boy Agnew, who can see now, he's done very well today for Grimsby. He's got very, very tight whenever Junior Bent has threatened to get the ball and, you know, tried to run at him. He's denied him all the space and he's always forced him to cross in front of himself.
Good case there of the new law. Under circumstances, Futcher would have knocked that back to his goalkeeper, who would have picked it up, but couldn't do so, and City keep the pressure on. Bryant knocking it in. Morgan, little flick, but can't find Bent. Agnew and Goka. So, Tinian, it's all City at the moment. Grimsby can hardly break out of their half, but it's still 0-0. Over the top for Morgan, he's in. And the corner kick off Futcher. Morgan had to square it because Grimsby did so well to surround him, Mark, didn't they?
Yes, it's a good clearing header by Monroe. Just looked to got some distance on it. There you go. Just enough to get him behind Futcher. Morgan gets his body in front of him, and eventually Futcher gets back to make the block.
So the corner kick taken short. In Reese. Croft. And once again, Grimsby not able to play the ball out from the back. Such is City's pressure. Scott with the throw. Osman. Oh. Osman again. Pennyfather. Scott. Pennyfather. Rossinia. Tinian chasing. Difficult cross on the run down in that tight corner, but again, promising City move. Well, big Reece Wilmot began life as an Arsenal goalkeeper. Couldn't make it with them in the long run.
I think the interesting thing now, Roger, is maybe City might look to make a change, bring a substitution. Who makes the decision? Is it Osman from on the pitch, or, you know, the likes of Clive Whitehead from off the bench?
Yes, I believe they do it by cabinet.
think the referee's done very well today. He's been up with play. When he's made all the decisions, he's always been within 5-10 yards of play. Very conspicuous, really, which is a sign of a good referee. Very, very pleasing performance, Mr. Cooper, today.
So, Tony Ford with a rare opportunity for Grimsby to build in City's half. In this second half, Gary Childs on the ball. Oh, nice little touch, but Scott had seen all about that one. And he's won the throw-in too. Good play by the City left fullback. Tinian, Morgan, Ford. Again, Tinian in quickly. Free kick for Grimsby. So, once again, the storm has been abated, just as City started so well in the first half. Mark made chances and didn't take them. They've done the same in the second half. 20 minutes as we are into this second half, and Grimsby still alive.
Yes, I'm just wondering, as we said before, whether City are thinking about making a change, looking for that extra impetus. Important now, the next 5 or 10 minutes, they just keep solid, you know, nice and deep at the back, and don't give anything away.
Yes, in many ways, this match is mirroring City's season. They make a good start to each half, but it doesn't go right for them. They made a good start to this season. Remember, they were in 7th place after 4 matches, but the decline to 18th at the turn of the year, and now 3rd from bottom and battling to keep this big club with such a splendid ground in the First Division. Another 20 minutes or so here to get the 3 vital home points that they desperately need if they are to stay in the First Division. Junior Bent back doing a bit of a marking job there for a change. City win the throw. Monroe with the throw. Nicky Morgan. But Grimsby beginning to build an attack or two now. Dave Gilbert on the ball. Shelton up, Rossinia, Futcher. Tinian should have time to pull that down, does so nicely, but Ford nips in quickly. This is Bryant sorting it out. Scott to Tinian. Morgan doing well against Roger there, holding the ball nicely. Got a free kick. Tinian. Knocking it in. So that's given away. Free kick against Leroy. He's no homer.
Now again, the referee in another good position, Roger. You know, within 5 yards of the play. He doesn't look the fittest man on the pitch, the referee, does he? But he certainly gets himself about.
I tell you what, he's from Pontypridd. He's built like one of those stocky little Welsh fly halves. They move their feet quickly.
I'll take your word for it, Roger.
So,
Grimsby making a change. They brought on their number 12, that's Neil Woods. Taken off Mendonca, just to vary the attack. The new man has played a lot of football for Grimsby this season, so he's well aware of the pattern. Mendonca's had to do a lot of running, and so why not change and bring on another runner? Oh, nice flick by Shelton to Tinian to Rossinia and back to... Oh, and Tinian let it run away from him there. Through the move, but the last touch let them down.
Yes, lovely play again, wasn't it? Series of 1-2s, good passing and movement off the ball.
Neil Woods there, the Grimsby substitute, to bring on a change of runner. Okay, Shelton to Rossignol. On the deck again. He's spent more time on the deck than some of those indifferent heavyweights, Mark.
Yeah, just a clumsy tackle really from Graham Roger. If you're going to make a clumsy tackle, that's the place to do it, Roger. Right in your opponent's halfway line, just inside their half.
Tinian. Shelton. Chance for Morgan. Goal! Nicky Morgan! At last, City score. A good cross. The pressure told in the end. Bristol City 1, Grimsby 0.
Yeah, here we go. Great touch by Tinian. Lovely running by Shelton. Left-footed cross, Roger, when it comes in. Loads of time for Morgan to pick his spot, which he does great. The keeper just unfortunate, nearly got a hand to it. Here we go again. Lovely touch. Good running by Shelton. Here's Morgan, just pulls himself out of the way. In she goes. Only what City deserve, Roger.
Absolutely. Only Nicky Morgan's second goal of the season for City, but a vital one indeed. Full value for their lead. The pressure which we felt was becoming non-stop finally told. A crack revealed itself in the Grimsby defence, and Nicky Morgan, who's been scoring goals all his career, West Ham and Portsmouth and Bristol City, tucked it away. A player who couldn't get in the side in the first part of the season. City glad to have him around now, and Grimsby now know they've got to be much more ambitious and push men forward, so we should see a better football match, Mark.
Yes, it's important now really that City don't sit back, Roger. They've got that goal through pressurising Grimsby, and just because they get it, I hope they don't think they've won the game. There's still a long way to go. They've got to keep playing and try and get themselves a second goal.
Penny farther through. Grimsby pressing, Mark. They do say a team's at its most vulnerable just after it's scored. Please explain.
Well, I think because they knock off a bit, Roger. You know, your concentration goes, you're thinking about the goal, and you give the other side an opportunity to score. Here's another view of it, look. Lovely cross by Shelton, and Morgan just pulled away from Futcher, gave him half a yard. The keeper read it, but the power of Morgan's header was too much for him. A very well-worked goal for City.
There he is, Nicky Morgan, an experienced goal scorer, and City glad of that. So, Groves, Rees, Childs, the fullback overlapping. Good organisation, good tackle by Shelton. What a good piece of work there by the City skipper. Up at one end, making a goal one moment, back there, stopping a goal happening at the other. Good football. Big heart, Gary Shelton. So, Grimsby have got a corner kick. Haven't had many of those from them. Gilbert is the man who takes them. They push the big guys up. Roger, particularly, the big number 5's gone up there. And Groves, tall men who score goals from these pieces. Roger got his foot to it, and there's a shot there, and a shot there by the left fullback, Agnew, and finally City survive.
Yeah, the corner comes in from Grimsby's right. I think Roger gets up amongst a pile of bodies, and Agnew has a shot, Roger. And it's a great block, this by Welsh. Very, very brave. Managed to get himself in front of it, and hopefully Tinian cleared in the end for City. But still a dangerous position to concede this free kick now.
Right. Ford over it. Gilbert will let fly with that left foot. Well blocked by Osman. He got by Monroe rather. Made yards to block that one. Bryant. Knocked in by Groves to Gilbert. This is where they're dangerous, laying it off and finding a spare man. And Ford with a good shot there, and Welsh again well down. What a splendid game the City goalkeeper's having. Hasn't had a lot to do, but what he's had to do has been difficult, and he's done it very well.
Here he is. Good flick on by Gilbert. Well worked this as well. Good running off the ball by Grimsby. Just half a touch for Ford. He hits it very early, almost caught Wells by surprise, but he makes a good save.
Rees. Oh, they're really switching it about now, Grimsby, aren't they? Showing what they can do, no doubt about that. But away come the City. Rossinia for Bent. A chance for him to show his speed now. Groves chilling him. Bent's got a yard on him already, look. Oh, in comes the tackle. Referee allows it. Monroe. Pennyfather. Rossinia. Morgan. Good tackle by Futcher. What a good game now as Grimsby come looking for the equaliser and City go back on attack too. Gilbert.
I think the Russian judge gave Morgan 9.6 for the dive there, Roger, as well.
Croft has it. You see the quality of this Grimsby side now. As soon as they went a goal down, they were able to move out and cause panic at the back for City. But City survived through their excellent goalkeeper. So, Futcher. Dion Croft. Well cut out by Osman. Tinian, chance to get that left-footed cross in. Goes on, good tackle by Futcher again. Scott. Senior. Tinian. Scott. Tinian. Leroy. Inside the fullback he thought, but Charles wasn't having any of that. Rees. Groves. Roger. Rees. Groves, don't they build well? There's a man free on the left, but Shelton again read it and got that boot in. What a vital contribution the City skipper's making.
Use that space, Martin. Use the space.
Yeah, they're just threatening here, aren't they, to get through the middle. Groves, bad first touch, just enables Shelton to get back in there. As you rightly say, Roger, he's very good at things like that. Picks a lot of bits and pieces up, which you don't notice a lot in the game.
And what a vital couple of saves Keith Welsh has just made. He's had his critics during his time at Ashton Gate, but not today. Oh, Osman in quick. Futcher. To Childs, to Croft. That's for the sub to chase. Neil Woods.
It's amazing, Roger, that the more you watch football, and you know, teams just seem to coast, and all of a sudden they lose a goal and they raise an extra gear. And it's always a ponder for managers why they can't do that in the first place.
Absolutely, the human factor. Dave Gilbert. Groves in space. Hit Pennyfather. Ford to Groves again. Rees. Ford. Grimsby. Possession team. Oh, dear me. Oh dear, Gilbert ruining a lovely move. Doesn't do that often though.
It was good build-up, but the only unfortunate thing at the moment, Roger, City starting to sit back a bit. You know, they're inviting Grimsby on there, but they've got to push on another 5 or 10 yards and try and contest all the second balls in midfield, which Grimsby are winning.
Yeah, here's Ford, he's got space, and a vital tackle there by Osman. Rossinia. Oh, good ball into Morgan. Nice layoff too to Pennyfather. If they can just release Bent in some space, that second goal could come. But not like that. Bryant beaten to it by the 12, the sub, young Woods.
You know, just harking back to the goal that City have scored, it was the first real occasion, apart from maybe Bent in the first half, when they've actually got round the back as Grimsby's defence. It makes such a difference for your forward players if the ball's coming from the side as opposed to being in front of defenders all the time. It makes it so much easier for them to get headers on target.
Morgan. Tinian. Doesn't have the pace to get past his man, but he's got everything else, Mark.
He's a class act, Roger. I don't know how much they're going to eventually pay for him, but I'm sure it'll be worth every penny. Class act.
So they're bringing on the other sub too. Tony Dawes, the lad they bought from Scunthorpe for 50 grand just before the deadline. Bringing off the young fullback. It's an attacking move, Mark, obviously a gamble.
Yes, this boy Dawes has spent a lot of time at Scunthorpe, scored a lot of goals in the the old 4th division, the 3rd division, Roger. A goal poacher, and they'll stick him straight up the front and hopefully can nick a goal for Grimsby.
It's interesting how more managers have got bolder with their substitutions, Mark. When we first had the facility of substitutions, they were very cautious, didn't use them except for injuries, but now they're prepared to gamble, like Alan Buckley today. There's 15 minutes left of this game, and yet he's weakened his defence to strengthen his attack.
Yes, he's probably hoping that his sub will open some doors for him, Roger.
So, Shelton to Scott. Tinian, bit of space here. Over the top for Bent. Yes, Bent has it. The extra amount of space there, which Bent was in, Mark, because Grimsby pushing up, more space at the back.
Yeah, that's right. Great ball from Tinian, wasn't it? You see, the thing about him, Roger, and we go on about it, but he gets his head up. Because he's got such a good first touch, it enables him to get his head up, and he sees the player around him. He takes a good position wide on the left, and he's very, very difficult to mark.
Yep, nice to see.
Here we go. Great crossfield pass. Junior is a player, really, you think, can always produce more than he actually does. He's a guy who tends to be, need to be told he's loved all the time. You always feel there's something in there, just desperate to get out, but I don't know what it is.
Yes. So there we have. Yeah, Junior Bent, a lovely turn of speed, and let's see if they can give him the right path for him to show it. There it goes. There it is. Right on cue. Go, Junior. Well, he got caught by Gilbert. Again, the ball wouldn't come down for him quite quickly enough, and Gilbert shrewdly closed in on him. So, Pennyfather. Junior. Well, he knocked it out of play there. Oh, dear me.
The thing is, Roger, I mean, Junior Bent's got the ball. He's got a forward actually coming back to try and tackle him, and he wants to go backwards. He's got to go forwards. He's got great pace. Knock the ball in behind him and take him on. As much talent as he's got, it must be very, very frustrating to work with, because he's got all this talent, but he just doesn't use it. And I hope, for his sake, that eventually one day he will realise what he has got and wake up to the fact.
Yep. 10 more minutes for him to maybe do it in this game. We'll see. Can City hold on to this vital 1-0 lead, which is a crucial home victory in the making for them? All right. There's Junior. Sticking out a foot, helping the cause. Leroy Rossignol. Groves. And Rossignol's got away from him. This is Monroe. Should set it up for Morgan here. There it is. Back to Rossignol. And it just didn't come quite right for Morgan for the header, so he laid it back. Still another excellent attack by City. And away come Grimsby. This is the substitute against Bryant, and Bryant had the pace to hold him off.
Yes,
Bryant did well there against Terry Dawes.
Yeah, good defending. There's only one thing to do, that was put it in row 26, which Bryant did.
So we've got Jonathan Agnew back there hurt, the number 3 for Grimsby.
He's no relation to the cricket commentator, do you think?
No, because I've given him Jonathan. His name is Paul, of course, Paul Agnew. Jonathan, as you say, the cricket commentator, was about 4 feet taller. So there we are. Clive Whitehead, Jerry Sweeney and Buster Footman. Anxious faces there.
I think Buster thinks it's summer, Roger, doesn't he? Christ, does he not feel the cold?
Oh, he's one of those tough guys from Southend. Pennyfather. Ford. Grimsby aren't done yet. Childs. Rees. They need to be tightly marked because they're deadly if you give them room. Like that. Or like this. And it's just over. Corner kick won by that boy Woods, justifying his inclusion as substitute.
There's a half chance in it. Well worked by Ford. Half a yard on his left foot. In comes a cross. Nodded back by Dawes. Woods gets his foot in there as a left foot eventually scrambled over by Monroe, I think.
And Rossinia clearing the corner for City. Oh dear, it's just gone too far for Scott, so Gilbert's back in business. Oh, played in there. There's Bryant winning that one. And away comes Pennyfather. Got Morgan wide left, Bent close right. Now can Bent give himself a run? Paul Agnew is not prepared for giving the room. Munro. Pennyfather. Bent. Tinian. Not a bad idea though. Just not the power. Osman's won it well. He's had a good game as player manager today. I tell you what, Mark, there's not been a lot of free kicks or fouls in this match. It's been a good, clean football game.
Yeah, it's been playing in a very good spirit, Roger. And it helps when both teams come to play, doesn't it?
Dawes, offside.
I think it's important now for City, Roger, that, you know, they try and slow the game down a bit. If they do get a chance to get the ball in midfield, just to stick it over the top for Rossinia and Morgan, to turn Grimsby round, you know, and make them defend and maybe give away corners, free kicks, throw-ins.
Okay, Junior Bent, but again, no space. They've done their homework about this boy. But this is space for Monroe, but he couldn't use it. Bryant's been solid. Lovely pass there by Shelton to Tinian. Shelton. Ford. Tinian. So, Tinian with it. Childs marking him tight. And giving away the throw. So Childs getting it away now to Groves. A bit of space to try and create something. He's got men left and right, but Bent doing well to get his speed there to get ball side of Gilbert. Good little job there by Bent. So Ford has it, and City have time to regroup. Tinian gets the tackle in. Rees knocks it in, and that's a corner kick off Scott. So we move into the last 3 minutes plus added time. Grimsby with a corner kick. Russell Osman organising his defence there. Nicky Morgan back in his own box, needs to win this in the air. So Gilbert with the corner kick. Good catch there by Keith Welsh.
Yeah, good cross in from Gilbert from the left, but look at the keeper, great position to accept the cross. That's super goalkeeping by Welsh. He's played very, very well for City today.
Your overall impressions of the match, Mark?
I think it's a game City deserved to win, Roger. I think they played very well. The goal was a long time coming. There's a final whistle now. You know, the goal was a long time coming.
He's added very little added time at all, and what a good performance there by the City goalkeeper, Keith Welsh. The City crowd acknowledge an excellent team performance. City dominated the game and finally got the goal through Morgan midway through the second half. City fans well relieved with that, well pleased. So let's join Steve Scott on the touchline with goal hero Nicky Morgan.
Nicky Morgan, what a special game for you.
Yeah, well, just for me, it's for the fans and everybody here, because we desperately needed the 3 points. And I thought the way we played, we deserved it fully today. We should have scored more than 1 goal today.
Tell us about your goal.
All I can remember is Gary Shelton getting to the byline and me hanging out the back post waiting for him to cut it out. Everyone seemed to run near post, and the ball just fell right there.
With a performance like this today, it must be a tremendous boost.
Yeah, it was a tremendous boost for the whole city to get out of the bottom 3.
Congratulations, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Welcome back. Lots of goals still to come, but first let's look back at this afternoon's match. Bristol City beating Grimsby by 1-0, and I hope they've had time to get their breath back. Our commentary team of Roger Malone and Mark Lawrenson. Mark, first of all, was that a fair result?
Yes, I think so, Alistair. They certainly had the better of the chances, Bristol City. To be fair to Grimsby, they were pushed back in the second half. There's nothing they could really do. City played ever so well, certainly down the left. I thought Tinian and Scott did ever so well down there, kept the ball. You know, if there was a problem, they couldn't deliver the ball in the box, they came out, they started again. And I thought overall a good City performance today.
Roger, what impressed you most about City's performance?
Well, I thought they did a difficult job very well, Alistair. I mean, Grimsby were difficult to break down, and I thought that Keith Welsh was super in goal because he was required to make a couple of vital saves, did so very well. And Leroy Rossini, I thought, did a magnificent job because they do miss Andy Cole, the £1.75 million sale to Newcastle. I thought he did well. Gary Shelton did well, and I thought they used the half-time talk well, Mark, because there was a definite improvement in the pressure that City applied in the second half, wasn't there?
Well, I think they stepped it up a gear, Roger, didn't they? And what they didn't do particularly well in the first half was put Grimsby under pressure when they had the ball. They did it in the second half, consequently won all of the second ball that there was to be won, and were always on the attack all the time. They played well, City, today. I was quite impressed.
And nice for Nicky Morgan, you know, because he's had such a lean season batting behind Rossini and Allison as the strikers. He only gets a game when they sell Cole, and he's come in with the winner at Birmingham and the winner today.
Yes, and the nice thing about him, the only real quality cross he got in the whole game, he did ever so well. As soon as he saw the ball get delivered to Shelton down the left, he took a step out, lost his marker and got his header on target, and as I say, it's another match-winning header for City.
And a lot more reasons to be seen today why Bristol City should survive in this First Division.
Well, they've won today. They've got a few games to go, but they've got to keep playing the way they played today. Certainly maybe away from home might suit them a bit better because the two lads can hold the ball up, you know, when you're under pressure more, and possibly might be more difficult for the games at home. But it's a good win for them today, and also a clean sheet.
OK, well, there it is. We think it was an excellent performance by Bristol City. We accept there's a long way to go, but we think that's a distinct sign they are going to stay up.
Well, thanks very much, Roger and Mark. Back to the guests in the studio. Mark Gavin, you must be a relieved man.
I'm very pleased. I think the team played very well. And I was pleased for Nicky Morgan because, in my opinion, he was the outstanding player on the field today. He brought people into the game, he linked up well, he worked hard, his touch was good, and he deserved to score.
Dennis Rowe, for your key players?
I think, obviously, Nicky Morgan. I saw him score the winner for Bristol City at Birmingham recently, scored the winner again today, and he probably won't score 2 more important goals in a short space of time than what he's done recently. I thought he played very well. Most of City's good play for me came down the left flank. I thought Scott and Tinian worked quite well. Mark's obviously got his work cut out when he gets fit again. But all their thrust came down the left flank, and that side performed well. Coincidentally, the 2 best chances of the game, for me, fell to Junior Bent. And Junior would be disappointed that he hasn't got himself on target.
Well, let's see the goal then, shall we? The goal that Nicky Morgan scored to take it through to 1-0. Mark Gavin.
Yeah, the ball's played up here, and it's brought down the edge of the box by Brian Tinian. And Shelton with a lovely cross there, and Nicky picked his spot. The point we were making earlier was that the two front players were holding the ball up well, and I felt that, you know, Shelton should be making more runs in there, and he did. He made a good run there, a terrific cross, and, well, you can't finish many better than that.
Dennis?
Yes, I mean, we were speaking at half-time, and I said that I wanted to see Bristol City if they could get in behind Grimsby's back four, and that was one occasion when they did. And when you get to the byline, they're very difficult crosses for defenders to deal with. Obviously, if they're coming in from a lot deeper, defenders are facing the ball and are favourites to win it. But when it comes from the byline, and particularly when you get a quality of cross that Shelt's delivered there, they're difficult.
Well done, thanks. Now, I think we can go straight back to Ashton Gate, where Steve Scott has a happy City manager, Russell Osman, with him.
Russell, well, that was a lot better, wasn't it?
Well, it's 3 points that we badly needed. For Mr Gavin's sake, it's a bit of win bonus that he'll probably pester me about next week.
So what impressed you most?
Well, basically the way that the lads were composed enough to carry on playing football and passing the ball about, really. You know, there's a little bit of pressure on us at the moment, but you wouldn't have believed it the way we played some of the football today.
It was good football, but it must also have been frustrating because the build-up was great and then the final pass seemed to be going astray.
Yeah, but I think in the back of your mind, you know that if you keep doing the right things, you know, sooner or later, if you keep getting enough balls into the box, somebody's going to get on the end of them. At half-time, we said we maybe got too many people in the box too often, and I think Nicky Morgan and Leroy were finding it a little bit crowded. So we tried to get 1 or 2 people holding out a little bit to give them a bit more space, and maybe that's one of the things that they helped us get that final ball in the back of the net.
And that worked, and he finished well, didn't he?
Yeah, great finish again. You know, Nicky's done very well since he's come back in the side. He's held the ball up very well for us, you know, and they've formed a nice little partnership up there.
Russell, congratulations and thanks very much.
Great, thank you. Cheers.
Thanks, Steve. Now, earlier we were talking about the role played by Junior Bent, Mark, weren't we? Now, early on in the game, of course, he came very close.
Yeah, I thought Junior played quite well. You know, the thing is, with his speed, Alistair, he gets into positions where other players wouldn't get into. And you can see here, there is a bit of build-up here. Nicky Morgan, lovely ball through, and he, you know, great position there. You know, he's at the target, and the keeper's made a save.
Dennis, it's important for Junior to pose a threat, isn't it? Even if he doesn't get on the end of the ball.
Yes, I mean, anybody who's got pace like he's got should cause people problems. And at times you get frustrated and think, well, he's not doing as well as he can do. He's an instinctive player, and as was mentioned earlier, I think he is very eager to please. He looks like that type of lad. And he just needs a little bit of guidance. And he ended up with 2 chances today, and as I said earlier, we'll be disappointed that he hasn't got his name on the score sheet.
Well, another man who had a very good first half was Leroy Rossignol, wasn't he?
Yes, Leroy had the chances, and there's one here. He's a bit unfortunate there. The pitch is firm, and it pops up a little bit, and it doesn't go on for him, and eventually that's blocked, and Grimsby mop it up. He will be disappointed again. He's the type that he'll be looking at the goal that has been scored today and thinking, I wish I'd have been on the end of that cross.
You were saying that Leroy should have been replaced after half-time. It looks as though he'd burnt out a bit.
I thought Leroy played extremely well. I just felt in the last 15 minutes he got a bit tired, and when we got the ball, I thought they might have brought Wayne Allison off and knocked some balls into the corners for Wayne to chase and use his speed and his strength.
Well, let's have a look at the chance in the second half for Junior Bent, where, again, he went very close. Dennis?
Yes, once again, a nice run by Scott. He gets a little bit of luck here and probably doesn't want the ball hitting there, but it falls to Junior and really should hit the target from there. Anything that's on target, you'd back is going to end up in the net. Scotty won't be too pleased about that. He'll probably claim it's a great through ball afterwards, but Junior will be a bit disappointed that it didn't hit the target there.
Well, let's have another look, though, at the goal that sealed it all for City. It was Nicky Morgan again, who we all felt had the game of the match. Mark?
Yeah, as you can see, brings it down well, Brian Tinney. Nice, great little run round the back by Shelton, and he picks him off. Power header. Excellent goal. There it is again. Well brought down. That's a great run from Shelton, you know, because he took the defenders away. He's picked them out. Morgan's picked a good position up there. He didn't go straight in there, he just hung out. And obviously, we're relieved.
And of course, he scored 2 in the last week, really, hasn't he, Dennis?
Well, he's got 2 vital goals for him, yeah. Gary Shelton's done ever so well on his left foot to get that across there. So often they end up behind the goal and frustrate everybody, but he's done well to wrap his left foot around that and Nicky Morgan will buy him a pint afterwards for that, I'm sure.
Well, a super vital goal from Nicky Morgan and 3 vital points for Bristol City. Well, we're going to take another short break now, and we'll be back in a moment with highlights of 4 matches. 2 played this afternoon, plus yesterday's games involving Swindon Town and Bristol Rovers. And we'll have 11 goals from another 5 First Division matches, so join us soon. Welcome back. The final score at Ashton Gate, of course, Bristol City 1, Grimsby Town 0. 1 or 2 final thoughts from our studio guests, Mark Gavin and Dennis Rove. Mark, you say those City players will be relieved. How much pressure have they been under?
Well, obviously, when you're bottom of the table, or near the bottom of the table like we are, what you tend to do is you look at other teams' results. And I think with the results going against us in recent weeks, it had added a little bit of pressure to the players. But we've won today. We've got 3 points. You know, we're out of the bottom 3. We've got a game in hand. You know, we've got Notts County away on Saturday, and Bristol Rovers at home Tuesday. As long as we don't lose them 2 games to the teams who are down the bottom with us, and if you can take 3 points from the next 2 games, I'm sure we're well on our way to safety.
Dennis, you've had experience of battling against the constant pressure of relegation. What goes through a manager's mind?
Well, I can imagine what was going through the City bench's mind there in the last couple of minutes. It seems like the clock's never going to reach the magical 45-minute mark for the second half, and always when you're just 1-0 up, you worry about conceding a late goal. And as Mark says, you're always looking at other people's results, but really all you can do is win your game, get 3 points, and not worry about other people.
Do you change about the way you think about you go into games, or have you got to try and concentrate on doing it all the same?
No, I think, Alistair, that obviously we've been in the bottom 3 the last couple of weeks, and we're not good enough to change the way we play. We've got to play the way that we know, and that is pass it around, play football, get it wide and get balls into the box. And I think we'll continue to do that, and hopefully it'll get us out of trouble.
And try and ignore those other results. Yeah.